Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
Matt's come with me. No. When do we start?
Welcome back. We're here.
Yes, we are. We are indeed back here live.
We're not live.
We're live in the moment. Live in the moment.
But not live for them. This has been edited.
Whatever.
And up front, sorry, Patreon people, and I guess regular people, this is all being pushed back a little bit. I still want to give the Patreon people some exclusive time behind it.
Okay.
I had to push the podcast back for personal reasons.
It wasn't me this time.
No, it was me. It's all my fault.
It's not me, it's you.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Let us break up. Clean break.
Okay, I can go home at a reasonable hour on a Tuesday night
No
or
emotion.
Wednesday night this week.
No emotion. I'm still going to put it out a little earlier for Patreon people, but yeah, sorry about that. You know what's really funny, though?
Yes, please tell me.
I threw it up on Facebook. I'm like, hey, like yesterday.
You threw up on Facebook?
Yes, I threw up on Facebook.
You vomited all over Facebook.
On Mark Zuckerberg himself.
Oh, wow. Well, he's got like $1 million napkin. He can sop it up.
Oh, I thought you were just saying he has $1 million. Like, he has a couple more bucks than that.
Just a couple. $1,002,000.
But yesterday I had to throw up on the Facebook page. I'm like, I got to close the store early a little bit today. Like, something's going on. Gotta leave. And people were very sweet. They're like, hope everything's okay. But because so many people were like, I hope everything's okay, Facebook sent me an email. They're like, you have a post that's performing better than most. Would you like to give us money to boost it? I'm like,
No.
No.
No, I would not.
No. That's...
Thanks, but no thanks, Facebook.
You robot.
Ah, and then you threw up on it.
Yes.
Bleh.
On Zuckerberg himself.
You are some kind of animal by doing that, just vomiting on people. Rich people, in fact.
Like, oh, you closed and couldn't record for reasons.
No.
Then...
Oh my gosh. Please, if anybody, I would be most sensitive to your problems. Like, I listen, and I am empathetic.
Oh, I wasn't saying go ahead and tell me about your praises. I was giving you the go-ahead sign to crack that beer.
Oh, okay.
Well, now I have to leave it in the audio. Usually I cut it. Whenever there's a I always cut it, but, you know, it's in there now.
Yes, it is.
It's on record.
Digital
record, yeah.
Yes.
I hope this isn't going to impede any potential prospects in your life.
Please, I'm drinking water. It could be a soda for all people know.
A seltzer.
Yes, they can. They put water in cans.
Yeah, seltzer water.
Yeah, so there you go. I could be opening a can of anything. Can of whoop ass.
Do you have anything you want to potentially say?
Nope. Not going to count our chickens before they hatch.
No potential saying of things.
No, we don't. Nope.
Look, I spilled the beans to my mother. What? She went, what is it? Tell me.
Oh.
And I told her.
Oh, hi, Karen.
Let's do the news.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
Was it bad news this week? Is there not a lot of news?
Oh, no, I got news. We got all kinds of news. This is a weirdly heavy news week. Last week was light.
Yes, last week was paltry.
So, I think we got to start the year just to make you watch it, because we got Creed 2 news.
I heard that there's going to be Creed 2, and Dolph Lundgren's going to be involved.
Yeah, so
Ivan Drago is back, baby.
Drago?
Drago. You say Drago, I say Drago.
No, you said Drago, I say Drago.
Let's call the whole thing off.
Let's not.
Okay.
Because I want more Rocky. I want Rocky 8.
There's been a Rocky marathon on AMC the last couple of days, and I've watched it. And I was thinking to myself, I could take a really hot take about this, and now I have a forum to do it. And let me flush this idea out for a moment about Rocky.
Well, in January, I think we should do a show.
Yes, well, that's a long ways away.
We'll do it's not that long away.
Well, it's far enough. Let's get to September, October, November, December. That's a quarter of a year away. Actually, that'd be a third of a year away.
I have every show planned out for that time period.
There's still 33% of 2017 left.
Yeah, and I have every show planned.
Okay, good. Well, then you can put
That's
that
what I was saying, January.
I know, and you're like saying, oh, January is right around the corner. No, it's not.
It isn't a release schedule for the show.
Oh, well, whatever.
I have a plan. I'm a man with a plan.
We're not recording January's show tomorrow.
Let me tell you about Creed 2.
Can I get my hot take afterwards on Rocky?
Sure.
Okay.
It's fine. Rocky's good. Rocky's a good series. We both like Rocky. Rocky is a superhero series by Rocky 3.
Yes, but once you give this, I'm going to give my hot take that maybe people disagree with.
So, Creed came out 2015, right? 2015.
Yes.
Amazing movie. I went and saw Terminator Genesis. The best part of seeing Terminator Genesis was seeing the Creed trailer that I didn't know was coming. Creed is an amazing, wonderful movie, kind of a rough rehash of the first Rocky, which is its only kind of downfall. An amazing movie. Stallone, aside from acting in it, and by the way, that Oscar was robbed from him. Fuck off, Mark Rylance, who won it for Bridge of Spies. He did not deserve it. Stallone deserved it.
How do you feel about that?
I saw both movies. Stallone deserved it. Oh my god.
Okay.
When he does the whole thing about Adrian in the hospital, if that doesn't make you well up or cry, you are not human.
Are you a replicant?
You might be a replicant.
Okay.
We're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
But Stallone, relatively uninvolved. He just more gave his blessing. He is writing the script for Creed 2, and he's been hinting on Instagram, which now means I have to follow Stallone on Instagram. It's a thing.
Not as fun as Vin Diesel, probably.
I don't follow him on Instagram. I just see his occasional drunk Facebook videos.
I am Groot.
Yeah. Creed 2 is going to be about, I'm not sure if it's about Ivan Drago's son or Ivan Drago's protege is going to be going up against Creed because it's the 80s again, baby. Russia's the enemy. Written by Stallone. Ryan Coogler, I think, is still going to be directing, but that is the plot for Creed 2. Adonis Creed up against the protege of Ivan Drago, and Dolph Lundgren will be in the movie because he's not dead.
Wow.
And I don't know. My initial feelings towards it are no.
You're thinking no?
Yeah. Creed was amazing. It's a great movie, and I want the franchise to survive on, like, as much as I like to call it, like, Rocky 7, Rocky 8. I want Creed to survive on its own merits, and I don't want it to just be falling back on movies of the past. So, like, we're going back to Rocky 4. I was like, I'd rather do something new, was more my reaction to it.
Okay, can I get my hot take now?
Go, hot take.
I'm going to give my hot take, and this is going to be, and probably is going to cause some problems. And I'm saying this, prefacing saying I love the Rocky movies, except for Rocky 5.
No one, except for my rings outside, no one likes Rocky 5, because that scene's great.
But the seeds for Rocky 5 sucking are planted in Rocky 3. And hear me out. Why do we love Rocky?
I was going to say, why do we love Rocky 3? I'm like, Clubber Lang's ridiculous.
Well, yes, Clubber Lang's probably the best part of the movie.
Also, Thunder Lips.
Yes, Hulk Hogan, who tweeted out, I think today, I'm never drinking again, brother. So I don't know what he was involved in.
Well, I mean, he was involved in that sex tape where he answered a phone call from his kid.
Well, you know, priorities, man. When your kids call, you got to answer. So the seeds for Rocky 5 sucking and the series taking a downward turn were planted in Rocky 3.
Rocky 3 and Rocky 4 are ridiculous movies. They are comic book movies.
So, no, let me hear it. Why do we like Rocky? Why do we love Rocky? Because he's what?
The underdog.
So, okay.
He's a thumb breaker.
So,
I like seeing a gangster rise up.
So, Rocky 1 and Rocky 2, those are plausible. He's an underdog. He doesn't have a whole lot. He comes from nothing. He's simple. He's world-wise. He's not money-wise.
He smeals mainly.
Yes. He is no longer, how can anyone call him an underdog in Rocky 3? He's the world champ, and he's got all of this money and fame and wealth.
He had that money in Rocky 2, but in Rocky 3, that band knows the Rocky theme, which is weird. We're doing a preview for a Rocky episode, by the way.
Hear me out with my hot take. Rocky 3 is the beginning of the movie series getting away. 3, 4, and 5 get away from what makes Rocky special. And when you get back to Rocky Balboa,
Rocky 6,
into Creed,
you haven't seen Creed, but also Creed does do it, yes.
But it gets back to what makes Rocky special. You got an underdog you can root for. And if you're like, I root for Rocky against Clubber Lang, you're lying to yourself and you're a hypocrite because Clubber Lang is exactly who Rocky was in Rocky 1 and 2. He's a guy who's just working his way up through the ranks. He has no power. He trains on his own. He does his own thing.
But he's an asshole.
Okay, so he's like the asshole Rocky. But
hey, woman!
Funny story, okay, about that. I'm in my house today. I'm cooking up some lunch.
How could this possibly
be? And I knew it was on. And I had switched channels to watch.
Don't you own it on DVD? You're like, I'm going to watch it on TV with commercials and edit it down?
Well, I was busy doing other things around the house. I'm not going to just put a movie in while I channel surf while I do some chores around the house. But I had flipped off of the end of Rocky 2. I love Rocky 2. And then I know Rocky 3 has started.
I'm not big on the ending of Rocky 2. It's a little too cheesy.
Whatever. And so I'm doing some housework, and I flip back over to, I'm like thinking to myself, oh, Rocky 3 is on. Hey, woman, want to see a real man? Turn it on. That's that scene. Hey, woman, want to know what it's like to be with a real man? Why don't you come over to my apartment tonight, and I'll show you.
Doesn't he say it twice? He's like, hey, woman, hey, woman.
Hey, woman, hey, woman. But it's like...
Oh, boy.
Clubber Lang knew what he wanted, and he was going to do anything to get it. He didn't want Adrian. He wanted Rocky, and he knew that the best way to do that is salt Adrian. It's like not even like Rocky's not upset
Well,
about
fight, you got it.
Yeah, and it's more like Rocky's mad at him, not about like saying you can't get it done in the bedroom, Stallion, but rather I want your wife.
Oh, he gets it done in the
Hey,
bedroom
woman.
because he did that porno.
Hey, woman.
What was that like? Party at something in Studs? I forget.
I choose not to think about Sly Stallone's penis.
I didn't watch it. What was it? Do you know the name of it?
I don't know.
It was like Party at something in Studs.
Party I'm Not Going To. That's the name of that movie?
I can't remember. Yeah, Stallone was in a porno. Look it up. They renamed it the Italian Stallion years later. Imagine why.
I pity the fool. What's your prediction for the fight? Pain.
That was the how I Pity the Fool originated. It was
Yes,
in Rocky
that was
3.
the first time those words had been uttered by Mr. T.
So, preview for our January episode.
Anyway.
where we do...
Dude.
Because at this point, I have harangued you about every 3 episodes. Like, have you watched Creed yet? You keep saying no. Guess what? I'm making you do an episode just so you watch the damn movie, because it's so good.
Okay.
And you love Rocky as much as I do. I have no possible idea how you haven't watched Creed, because Creed is amazing.
But was my hot take not on point? That the seeds for Rocky 4 and 5 sucking? Well, Rocky 5 sucking. Rocky 4 is fun in its own right.
Rocky 3 and 4 are both over-the-top fun. They're not Rocky 1. They're not Rocky Balboa. They're not Creed.
No.
They're not even Rocky 2.
But the seeds for Rocky 5 sucking were planted in Rocky 3. That was the beginning of the end of the Rocky franchise until it got revitalized.
The Rocky franchise isn't over because we're talking about Rocky 8.
Did you not hear me say until it got revitalized?
Didn't really.
On to the news. On to more news.
All right, we made it through one story. Thank God.
Yes.
Follow Stallone on Instagram, I guess, is the takeaway from here if you want to find out more. Because he's throwing up tweets. He's like, #getting strong now. Because I guess him and Michael B. Jordan are working out. 25th anniversary this week for Batman the Animated Series, which I'm going to say I planned for our topic for this week.
Good for you.
I didn't.
Why lie then?
I wanted to make it seem like I had more of a plan than I did.
You could have just said it with conviction and people would have believed you. Your transparency causes you to look dumber than you actually are.
No, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, well, still.
But yeah, 25th anniversary of Batman the Animated Series. I've been watching this show for 25 years. I can't remember when I started. I know I started watching season 1. I can tell you that much. I can't tell you the first episode I watched, but I can tell you I was watching season 1 because Mask of the Phantasm came out season 1 and I wanted to see it in theaters.
Wasn't there something I saw about Mask of the Phantasm? Maybe it's on Netflix now or something?
It just came out on Blu-ray.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Which is also amazing, side note. It's over there on Blu-ray now. And if you want to buy the old DVD, you can do it in the store for just a few bucks.
Wow, gently used.
It's still fine. I just upgraded to Blu-ray.
All right.
From my private collection.
Oh, wow. You should like...
The private reserve.
Selection privée.
But, man, one of my gotta be top 10 favorite shows for me. I love this show. It's so good. And as a kid, I understood so well, like, this show is, like, beyond my comprehension right now, but I still enjoy it. And as I've gotten older, it's just gotten better and better. Unfortunately, recently it got a little bit worse. But we're going to get into that in our main topic.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, 25th anniversary of Batman the Animated Series. The best version of Batman. And, I don't know, did you watch it all as a kid?
No, because I didn't have the WB or the CW order it was at the time.
What was it?
I think it was the WB.
WB wasn't around yet. It was one of the... You would have had the station. It was one of the main stations.
Maybe it was on... Was it on Fox?
I want to say it was, but I might be wrong.
Guess what I'm going to do? Haven't done it in a long time. Fact check the show.
Oh, good. I have to cut around this timing. It's going to seem like it's instantaneous. It ain't.
Makes me feel smarter. Okay. Batman the Animated Series.
Moving on while you look that up. Going deeper into the Justice League is Boned story.
Oh, yes.
Joss Whedon has received a writing credit, or a co-writing credit.
Really?
Once you receive a scripting credit, you're fairly deep into it. If you're receiving a story credit with the Writers Guild, it's basically like if you were contracted originally, but then your stuff got canned later on, you'll get a story credit.
It was on Fox.
It wasn't. Okay, so yeah.
Fox and Fox Kids.
I almost wanted to say CBS, but I guess not.
Womp womp.
But yeah, Whedon has a scripting credit now.
So he's written a percentage of the script.
I don't know how scripting credits work. I know, like, director's credit, like, you need to direct 52% of a film to get director's credit. I don't know how writing credits work, but I do know, like, if you have a story credit, your stuff was probably thrown out, but you were contracted at the time. He has a scripting credit, so when Warner Brothers is like, no, his reshoots are minimal. They're not minimal. If he's getting a scripting credit, he has done a good chunk of work on Justice League.
It's going to be a fun car wreck to watch. Maybe,
I love the Justice League. I love all those characters. I mean, I'm kind of indifferent to Cyborg and Aquaman, I guess. But the rest of them I really like.
Maybe, just maybe, this thing fixes it, though, and rights the ship and turns it around.
We'll see. But the fact that he's done enough work to get a writing credit, he's not going to do enough work to get the directing credit, but, ooh, this isn't a good sign.
No.
It's a sign, but not necessarily a good one.
Too many Chiefs, not enough Indians.
Speaking of signs, Simon Kinberg, director of the next X-Men movie, producer of all of them, he also produced the Fantastic Four movie and wrote that piece of crap. His first directorial debut, he says that X-Men Dark Phoenix is going to have a grounded tone. Don't do that.
I don't want that.
X-Men Dark Phoenix is a space opera. They literally leave the Earth and have, like, gladiatorial combat in space to determine the fate of Jean Grey after she blows up a planet of asparagus people.
Well, you can take or leave asparagus.
No! Blow the planet up, have a gladiatorial combat determining her fate.
Well, no, I'm
Grounded?
saying...
This is the quintessential X-Men story, and your answer is grounded? No! Do the opposite. You are wrong. You're wrong, Kinberg.
I mean, I'm okay with, like, the asparagus people getting blown up, I guess. I mean, asparagus is okay.
You hate vegetables. I've never met a person who hates vegetables more than you, other than, like, a 5-year-old.
Listen, everyone who's ever eaten vegetables has died. So I'm trying to hedge my bets.
Everyone who's breathed has died.
Okay, listen, your logic is flawed.
Stop breathing. See how that works.
I'll take a nice little nap.
Okay. Where you'll breathe.
Yes, but you don't understand what I'm saying, though.
This movie's gonna suck.
By the way, I've been eating more vegetables recently. I've started to take the Zach Bowen diet of eating a lot of baby carrots during the day.
People keep telling me baby carrots are bad. I'm like, screw you, I'm eating a bunch of carrots.
I eat a bunch of baby carrots.
I eat 1 pound of carrots a day.
It's significantly changing parts of my life.
Keeps you regular.
It does. It does that indeed.
We can text photos back and forth if you want.
No, that's not necessary.
Okay. But yeah, so Simon Kinberg says there's going to be a grounded tone for one of the most space-heavy X-Men stories. And to that I say, boo, sir.
Boo and hiss.
Yeah,
Boo and hiss.
I have no faith in this. I have faith in Deadpool 2. I have faith in New Mutants for being, like, going with a horror genre aspect. But doing another grounded, boring-ass X-Men movie? Woo.
You just want space.
Yeah, send the X-Men to space. That's half of the X-Men stories. But if you go by all of the movies, it's just them being boring at a school.
I left that life. It got much better.
Yeah, right? I was going to say, speaking of boring things, I guess let's go with speaking of boring things.
Yes.
The first 2 episodes of The Inhumans hit IMAX this week. Oh, were they slammed.
Cricket.
Yeah, I didn't make us do this because I assumed. And boy, have the reviews been harsh.
That bad?
Yeah. I mean, I've endured partial spoilers just because I don't care. But one of your main characters... Screw it, I'll give you partial spoilers. Also, side note, this doesn't matter, so don't worry about it. One of the main characters, probably the second most important character, is named Medusa. Her hair is snake-like.
Much like the Medusa of Greek mythology. Yeah. Yes.
But also her name is Medusa before she gets her powers, so thank God, coincidence.
Yeah, poor name choice by her parents. Medusa turned people into stone, she's so ugly.
Yeah, she's had an awful wig, and the CG they've released in trailers has been terrible. To save money, they shave her head and take away her power. I'm like, oh my God, that's literally her thing! And you shaved her head! And one of the more interesting Inhumans, Karnak, who is an Inhuman that I love. We've actually talked about him on one of our letters.
Karnak, like what Johnny Carson used to do?
No.
Yeah,
no, the last time
butter,
Karnak... Yeah,
Buttercream and Zach, name 3 things that are whipped.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes, the last time Karnak came up, you read a bunch of Carson jokes.
I did read a bunch of Carson jokes, you're right.
But...
Show history right there. A piece of Editors Note Comic Podcast lore.
His power is amazing. I love it. He's a great character. His whole thing is like how you would just see the world. He sees the weaknesses. So he'll just like punch a thing. Let's say he goes up to a building. I'm also stealing this from the recent Warren Ellis run. It was only 6 issues, but it's amazing. He'll go up to a building. He'll see the weakness in it. Just punch it once, and the entire building will collapse. He sees the weakness in things. In the TV show,
he'd be really good at Jenga.
Yes, he would be the Jenga master.
So his superpower really is being good at Jenga.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
But in the TV show, they have him as like some kind of weird future seer where he sees like different probabilities. I'm like, you took away such a cool power and gave it with he sees kind of into the future?
I see kind of into the future.
To hell with you, show. But everyone hates it. Apparently, it's supposed to be awful. Speaking of things that aren't awful.
Oh, me?
Well, if you'd let me talk about what you're trying to do, maybe we would say that.
Well, again, we're not going to count our chickens before they hatch. My chickens before they hatch.
I guess if they don't go right, then I guess we can't talk about them at all.
See, I'm hedging my bets.
That'd be awkward on the show. Like, so how did you fail?
Spectacularly, as always, with great flair and excitement.
I guess depending on how you go about it, maybe. Blade Runner 2049. We have a 6-minute short for Blade Runner 2032 or something. You can find it on YouTube. But we have a middle ground continuation in between the old Blade Runner and the new Blade Runner, and we'll spoil it a little bit, but it's good.
Yes.
It's real interesting.
The future, the dystopian future.
We got Benedict Wong, who you might know from Doctor Strange playing Wong.
Is that the guy's name?
Yeah.
Oh.
You saw Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were talking about his character name in the Blade Runner thing.
He didn't have a name in the Blade Runner thing, but I'm just trying to give context. But he's a guy sitting behind a desk, and he's approached by Jared Leto playing Wallace. Was that his name?
I believe so.
William Wallace?
No, not quite.
Okay, I was close.
They're not taking his... Well, they maybe are taking his freedom.
First off, just watch the damn thing, because it's really good. It's 6 minutes of your life that it's worthwhile if you like Blade Runner. But it gives some context for the next movie, and I don't know, full spoilers for the 6 minutes. But the Tyrell Corporation, their replicants have been totally discontinued. That's now illegal.
Yes, they're calling it Prohibition.
Yeah, and Jared Leto's character, William Wallace, not his name, is developing a new form of replicant that can be more than the 4-year lifespan, as long as you're willing to pay for it, and they are totally subservient. They will listen to any command, no matter what.
You know, and he shows it. He proves it.
Yeah, and it enters the question, because I had never seen this before I watched it with you. It was like, is Jared Leto unaging, or are they just playing kind of fast and loose with time and saying that he looks, you know, roughly the same in 2049?
Or is he a replicant?
Or, yeah, as the question will be for every single character in this movie, is he a replicant, including Harrison Ford? And I also say the answer is yes.
Wouldn't that be a tremendous twist if at the end everyone's a replicant?
It's just everyone, no matter what. Gosling, replicant. Ford, replicant. The girl who died. Well, we already knew she was a replicant. Replicant Rachel. Benedict Wong, replicant. Jared Leto, replicant.
It's like The Matrix 1.
Yeah. I rewatched the final cut of Blade Runner a couple months back. Damn good movie.
Mm-hmm. I haven't watched it in forever.
I know I said like on the show, like maybe I'll watch all 4 versions, and I did the same thing I do every single time I think about doing that. I look it up online, and they're all like, the last version's the best. This is why it's the best. Don't bother with the others. And I just went, yeah, that makes sense. I just watched the last version, which was the best.
You're right.
Thanks, 2007 version of the movie. You're the best.
Hooray!
Also, watch that 6-minute thing. It's really good, even though we kind of just said what it was all about.
Yes.
In TV news, Brenton Thwaites.
Thwait. I think Brent Thwait.
Brenton Thwait is Dick Grayson.
He's Australian.
In the CW Titan series. I guess he's best known for that most recent Pirates of the Caribbean movie where he's playing Orlando Bloom's kid. I haven't seen the movie yet.
No, I haven't seen it either.
I have no opinion of the actor because I've literally seen him in nothing.
He was up for a Teen Choice Award, so...
Thank God. The most prestigious of awards.
Hey, you know what? Teens are part of your target demographic, buddy.
They're really not.
Why not? You would think they would be.
No, they steal things on the internet.
Oh.
But he's up as Dick Grayson, and what's funny is I said a thing to you, and then you looked it up, you were like, oh, that's real.
Yeah, it's very real.
And I'm like, Dick Grayson has the best ass in the DC universe. And then you looked him up, you're like, what did you find?
The headlines were incredible. I'll pull the headlines back up. Just unbelievable, groundbreaking kind of stuff here.
Dick Grayson is supposed to be like the prettiest man in the DC universe, but he's also supposed to have the best butt.
The internet asks, is Brenton Thwaite's butt Nightwing worthy? That's from Bleeding Cool.
Bleeding Cool is the worst.
Screen Rant headline, Nightwing fans are Googling photos of Brenton Thwaite's butt. Here, movie pilot. For Nightwing fans, it's not just Dick that matters, it's his butt too. What fans are looking for in Brenton Thwaites.
Because his name is Dick Grayson. Moving on. The front runner for the role of the Joker in the 1980s Martin Scorsese origin movie is Leonardo DiCaprio.
I'm not really surprised. They've worked together on multiple films. Wolf of Wall Street was one. Departed was another one.
Shutter Island.
I like it. They're a good combination. They were. Sometimes you get those combinations of director and actor that work well.
We'll see. I mean, he's a producer, not a director.
Well, producers still, they're involved.
They're going steady at this point.
It's not quite Facebook official, but it's only because they like to keep their status under wraps.
Yeah. I don't know. That's the rumor. If DiCaprio does it, he is getting paid.
Yes.
He's not doing a role like that for nothing.
He would not be the first actor to play the Joker and win an Oscar, or have won an Oscar.
Yeah, if he takes the deal, he should do like a Nicholson deal, like where he gets a percentage.
Yeah.
And actually, something, and I'm going to do this on Twitter eventually, Jack Nicholson gets a percentage of all the Batman stuff, but he also gets a percentage of anything like with the name Jack Napier. And Batman White Knight that's coming out this fall by Sean Gordon Murphy, local Maine guy. This is the first time that DC has used the name Jack Napier since that time. So is that going to mean that Nicholson gets a cut?
Good question.
I'm going to ask him on Twitter because he does a lot of like, here's a 15-minute Q&A.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Good question.
I'm going to throw that there. Exclusive.
Interesting thought I just had as you were talking. Think about...
That it wasn't, but let's hear.
Okay, so all the actors who've played the Joker on the big screen have been Oscar winners. Jack Nicholson won an Oscar. Jared Leto's won an Oscar. Heath Ledger won an Oscar. Yeah.
Mark Hamill hasn't, and he was on the big screen.
Live action.
There you go. But Mask of the Phantasm was theatrically released in Christmas 93.
Yes.
Or was it 92?
He's been gypped. Mark Hamill should get an Oscar for something. For being.
That look he did in Force Awakens. I'm doing a lot of eyebrows right now.
I'm not doing you the dignity of watching your little charade.
Speaking of things that Harrison Ford is involved with, no Mutt Williams in Indiana Jones 5.
Thank God.
Yeah, right?
No Sheila Booth?
No Shia the Beef.
No beef?
There is no beef in Indiana Jones 5.
Ah.
He's out, baby.
Do we know what the plot is?
Who cares? There's going to be an artifact that he has to find with no Shia. Do we care beyond that?
Not really.
There we go. Speaking of things that are out, Colin Trevorrow, supposed director of Star Wars Episode 9, director of Jurassic World, he's out, baby.
He's out of
Star Wars Episode 9.
Ooh, maybe, just maybe, we'll finally get Spielberg.
We won't, but yeah, he's been poop canned.
Ah.
Gotta save me some editing bleeps.
Yes, poop canned. He's been sacked.
Yeah, they were like, it was mutual. And then John Boyega, I don't know what the emoji faces are called. He did like the eye roll one. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I'm sure there's the eye roll one. Yeah.
He did like 8 of those in a row. He's like, yeah.
Thank you.
But Trevorrow's out, baby. No new director. We don't know who it's going to be.
Zach Bowen.
I would do a terrible job. I'd be like, everyone reference things you've done before. I'm going to J.J. Abrams this bitch up.
I don't think you're capable of doing that.
Nah. I do like a first-time director thing. I'm like, the camera can't stop moving. I'm fancy.
Why don't you make your own movie?
I don't have money or talent. That's the other side.
Ah, but you're so critical. You're an armchair quarterback. You know what that means?
Yeah.
Okay. Just make it. I knew it involved the sports term.
Oh, I'm sorry. You got to talk to me about sports with your team of cheaters?
Which ones? The Red Sox?
Yeah, those ones.
Oh, yeah. Those idiots.
Apple Watch cheaters.
You know what? It obviously isn't working because right now they can't get out of their own way.
I thought that was such a funny story. I'm like, Apple Watch, really? Coming from a guy who cheated on like the first email watch technology.
Who, you?
Yeah, me.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of my mother, who's come up already in the show.
Hi, Karen.
I had a watch very early on, like early 2000s. It could receive emails.
Did your dad hide it up his ass while in Vietnam?
No, he was too young for Vietnam.
No.
But to take it was midterms or finals. It must have been finals. I emailed myself all of my notes that was on my watch, and I just cheated the hell out of like 1 year of finals.
Wow.
And then
good for you.
That was like 2 years later. Apparently my mom knew the password. She's like, you cheated on those finals. I was like, what?
It was money well spent, mother. Money well spent.
Side note, I did. Speaking of things that are awesome, cheating.
I thought you were going to say your mother.
The Rock.
Yes, The Rock is awesome.
Friend of the show, The Rock.
Yes, Dwayne, big time fan of the show.
Yeah.
We smell what he's cooking.
We didn't talk about it a few weeks ago, but there was a boy who rescued his 2-year-old brother from drowning in their... Did you see this?
No.
It was like a 10-year-old boy. His brother had gotten out of the house. His 2-year-old brother got into the family pool and he started to drown. And this young 10-year-old, because his favorite movie in the world is San Andreas, where The Rock performs CPR, pulled his 2-year-old brother out of the pool and performed CPR on him, saving his life.
Wow.
And The Rock invited him to the set of his most recent movie, Skyscraper, which he's currently filming. And just yesterday, when we're recording the show, he showed up with his entire family. He was invited to the set, and he said that this boy could eat anything from craft services. And, he followed through. The kid got flown up to this movie.
Huh.
This kid who saw San Andreas became his favorite movie, and he performed chest compressions on his 2-year-old brother, saving his life.
Didn't San Andreas make you cry?
No, wasn't me.
Oh, it was the co-host of the Buffy Back Issue bin?
Yes.
Oh, so it was the other host who cried.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a monologue about The Rock's kid dying.
Oh.
And I was like, what are you doing? And then Mad Max started. I was like, so beautiful.
You're overacting.
They drove in one direction and then turned around. It was amazing.
It was like Lord of the Rings condensed into one movie instead of 3.
But yeah, so The Rock had this kid up this week to the set of his newest movie.
That's because Dwayne's a stand-up guy.
The man is class.
Oh my God, is he ever?
100% class.
Follow him on Instagram. He puts up some really good
I do follow him on
videos.
Instagram. This is how I found out all this information. Is it through Instagram?
Did you see the one where he was in Toronto? He's like, oh, I love the city Toronto. He told the story about how he was playing for the Toronto Argonauts in the Canadian Football League. Yes, they have football in Canada, Zach.
Look,
the end zones are big.
I don't look at everything. But
he was talking about, it was like his dream. And he played in the CFL game, and he was so excited, and the next day they cut him. And I
guess not.
Yeah, but then it's like that started him down the path to wrestling, so it was like, whenever one door closes, another one opens. You just got to be ready, and you never know where that door is going to open. So
there's that.
Yes.
Next up, not a ton of comics news this week, but we will dive into it. Marvel released a trailer on the YouTubes for their newest thing, Marvel Legacy, where everyone is going back to their original numbering.
Yes, you showed me that. I really didn't understand it.
Basically, it's Marvel going, oh, we tried to introduce a bunch of new characters and try and be inclusive to all races, and no one responded to it, as we mentioned in that retailer summit that everyone got mad at. And now we're just going back to the old ways, and we're going to reintroduce the old numbering. We're going to treat it like it's this whole,
It's a never-ending...
Yeah, it's all, we're well-established, blah, blah, blah. We're not playing fast and loose with some of the numbering to make it seem more important than it is.
If I had a dollar for every time he said fast and loose tonight...
I said it.
I'd have at least $8 or $9.
I was going to say 3, but
well,
I guess I'll find out in editing.
Yeah, well, no, it was also before we went on the show.
Well, then we can't count that.
Yes, we can, because it's a part of tonight. It's part of the time that I've been around you today.
It's mostly in Thor, because they're counting all of the Journey into Mystery stuff when Thor didn't show up until well into the run of Journey into Mystery, but they're still counting it as Thor 700, which the current run of Thor is the best thing Marvel's putting out, so if they want to make a big event out of it, fine, I don't care. Look, they have Throg Thor on the cover, or Throg. Do it up. Give me what you got.
Yeah.
His name is Puddlegup. He found a piece of Mjolnir. Not counting that time that Thor was a frog and then beat down a bunch of rats.
My mind is totally blown.
These things have happened.
I'm not doubting that they have, but my mind is totally blown by these things that have happened.
And then he led the Pet Avengers. Speaking of comics.
But why? Why would something like that be allowed to happen?
Because it's amazing. Because there was a frog that has the power of Thor. Also, at that time, Thor was a frog. And then it was weirder when he became a 6-foot-tall version of himself.
As a frog?
Yeah. Imagine a 6-foot-tall frog versus just a tiny frog with the power of Thor.
That shit's weird, man. A 6-foot frog, that freaks me out.
Yeah. Tiny frog with the power of Thor. That's better.
I don't want that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
We saw a preview for one of the upcoming Doomsday Clock images where Watchmen and the DC Universe are going to collide. We saw an image of Batman. Yes, no one can see you doing that hydrogen bomb.
That's topical.
Yeah. Where Batman is reading Rorschach's journal. It's all coming together, baby. The 80s.
The synergy.
I don't know. I'm excited for this event. We're going to prep it a little bit on this show. You looked at me shocked. I mean, I'm just looking forward to it. Look, we've talked about Flashpoint, we've talked about Watchmen. We might as well build up to the rest of it.
Just put it all together.
Yeah, might as well at this point.
All right.
I mean, that's not for a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean 2 weeks, as long as I have access to the books I need. Do I? I don't know.
That's for you to know.
Well, I guess we'll find out on the show.
That's what we call a tease.
Maybe. That's the news. And
What a news week.
a lot of stuff happened. Let's move on to our main topic, the 25th anniversary of Batman the Animated Series with the Batman and Harley Quinn direct-to-DVD piece of shit movie.
I'm the best there is at what I do. But what I do best isn't very nice.
It's time for an Editor's Note podcast review.
I'm sorry, was I supposed to hide my review?
Well, no. It's been a while since you've had a pissy review of a movie, so we were due.
It's been a good year overall. I mean, God, look at like Logan or Guardians 2 or Wonder Woman or Spider-Man.
Well, don't forget in there we also had we had X-Men Apocalypse.
That was last year.
Yeah, but that's still if you're talking about like 2017.
Yeah, I was talking about this year.
We haven't really gone to see a real crap movie yet. Suicide Squad.
That was last year.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It just burned into your brain.
Time just blends
I guess
together.
We saw Dark Tower.
Dark Tower wasn't bad though.
Okay. I know, I'm less angry this year.
Skull Island, Kong Skull Island.
Oh, I didn't even bring that up.
You liked it.
If the director would shut his mouth, I'd like it more.
Anyway, moving on. We don't need to worry about the where's the beef, the Twitter beef. Let's get into this.
Oh no, it was on YouTube because he was part of Honest Trailers this week.
Was he really?
Yeah, he's on it directly.
Oh.
And every time I see his stupid face, I just want to punch him.
Was he on it directly, like throwing CinemaSins under the bus?
Yeah.
Really? I'm going to have to watch the Honest trailer.
Every time I see his face, I just want to punch it. I hate his stupid hipster face. He'd be so much better if he stayed off camera.
Wow. Anyway, we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Batman animated series, and we were treated with a direct-to-DVD movie, Batman and Harley Quinn. Treated being a real overuse of the word.
We do this from time to time, but I'm going to say full spoilers on this one. Well, I guess we'll start relatively non-spoilers, but I kind of don't want to hold anything back on this one. I guess non-spoilers, it's bad. It's generally bad, and this movie takes advantage of it not having like TV restrictions of standards and practices, and that makes it terrible.
Oh, it doesn't fall in line with the kid aspect of the young adult. It's dirty.
TV has the restriction of we can only go so far. And quite frankly, that's what makes it artful. This is, we can talk about
sex
very explicitly, which greatly takes away from the appeal. So it's bad. It's bad from back to front. The ending is stupid. Kevin Conroy is great. It's great having the original voice of Dick Grayson / Robin / Nightwing back. He's great. The voice actress for Harley Quinn is terrible. It's not a good movie.
I'm just pulling up a song that was in it too.
Please don't.
Well, I'm not going to play it. Which one?
I was going to say the
Harley song that she's
the
in?
karaoke one.
Yeah, but I was as I was watching it and this song came on, I'm like, what point does this have when they sang "Don't Refuse My Love" by Hamilton, Joe Frank and Reynolds?
So
it's "Don't Pull My Love." Sorry, is it Don't Pull My Love. Don't pull your love.
Just to give
Don't pull your love out on me, baby.
Just a quick plot summary so we can start diving into the specifics. Poison Ivy plans to destroy the world, so the Batman and Nightwing team up, and they don't know how to find her, so they go to find Harley Quinn because she's best friends with Poison Ivy, so they can find Poison Ivy and stop the apocalypse.
That's pretty straightforward.
Plot, yeah.
Yeah.
But then let's dive in to everything that sucks about this plot. The movie design looks great. This is a continuation of the redesign that you would have seen in season 4 of the New Adventures of Batman and Robin. Like when everyone got their full character redesign. Everyone looks identical with the exception of Nightwing, who has a further character redesign where they cut off his mullet and now he just has regular hair.
They reference that.
They do talk about the mullet, yes.
Yes.
The mullet's gone, but everything else is identical.
Yes.
So,
where do you want to start?
Batman, let's start out with not the weirdness of all the sex stuff, but the weirdness of just straight plot points. Batman and Nightwing know that they need to find Poison Ivy. So to find Poison Ivy, they go to find Harley Quinn, except they don't know where they need to find Harley Quinn. Why not use that same energy into finding Poison Ivy? They go, we need to find Poison Ivy. We don't know where she is, so we're going to find Harley Quinn to find her. We don't know where she is. Just use that energy to find Poison Ivy.
That's straightforward. That's a very good
You've wasted your time finding one person to find another person.
It works out pretty well for Dick, I'm just going to say.
Yes. Oh, we have a lot of Dick in this movie.
Whoa. We don't, but there is a lot of.
We're not in this.
Thank God.
We're not that famous.
No, we're not yet. One of us may be.
Oh, you're talking about you.
Let's not count our chickens before they hatch.
I hate that you can actually use that like local celebrity thing.
I am.
You're going to be able to use that potentially soon.
Well, I already am kind of a local celebrity, though. Local internet celebrity.
Internet, yes.
Yeah. It's not easy being famous on the internet.
So right off, it's really with like, we need to find Poison Ivy. We don't know where she is.
So let's find
Harley, where we don't know where she is. So Dick Grayson, Nightwing, finds her at the Hooters equivalent of superheroines.
Yes.
Where people dress up as people's favorite superheroines, but scantily clad versions of.
Yes.
Except Harley is just being Harley, but sexy Harley.
Yes. Getting accosted physically, verbally, mentally.
Yeah, so it's like someone tries to like grab her ass because they can see her ass and she breaks his arm.
Yeah, that's not very good customer service.
Yeah, they have a poster up that's like, you can look, don't touch.
Oh, he got what he deserved then.
It's weird. And Dick's like, oh, that's Harley. I'm going to follow her back to her place. And they have a quick fight in an alley. Harley beats him up.
And gasses him.
Yeah, and then ties him down to her bed like it's a Sugar Ray song where he's being tied down to all corners of her 4-post bed.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Deep pull. How long have you been waiting to say that?
I just came up with it.
I want to believe you.
I really did.
Well, good for you.
I don't listen to that much Sugar Ray.
I don't think anyone really listened to that much Sugar Ray. It was that one song.
He had 2 songs. I just want to fly. And then that.
Oh, yeah.
Every morning.
Yeah. Okay, so he had 2 songs. The medley of his greatest hit, pretty much.
I did all 2 of them.
Wow, good job.
So, while Dick is tied down to the corners of her 4-post bed, she's going to change her outfit, strips down.
Bends down into the closet to get something.
We're not going to have this be an explicit episode, but let's call this a questionable episode. Dick gets a boner.
The phrase boner is used in this movie.
They use a lot of phrases. And then Harley's like, I have an itch that hasn't been scratched in a while. They 100% have sex.
Which, by the way, Dick Grayson, now Eskimo Brothers with the Joker.
So creepy.
You never thought of it that way, did you?
Nope. Weird.
But am I wrong?
No. Then Batman tracks him. And what's really weird about this is the movie doesn't quite want to own up to what it is. Because Batman's like, gets really like, he's glaring at Dick. And he's like, what? Like, you never made out with a supervillain before? They didn't make out. They 100% had sex.
Which, by the way, it's as Batman's walking up and...
they're having a tickle fight?
Yeah. You're going to make me pee?
It's so weird.
Oh, and then I love Batman's line, too. He's like, did you get what you needed?
It's like, yeah, well, no, not the location of Poison Ivy. It's so, why doesn't the movie own up to it? They're like, they 100% had sex. They don't need to worry about they don't care about it.
It owns up to it later when she says,
practices.
Your opening line wasn't that good, and I'll call you if I run out of batteries. Saying that Dick Grayson is not nearly as good as a self-pleasuring device. This is what gets me. Like you said, this movie's like, oh, we don't have any rules? They reduce Harley Quinn to fart jokes.
Yeah, so after Dick and Harley have their little rendezvous, Batman's like, help us find Poison Ivy, and she agrees. And they get the Batmobile, she's like, oh, that like taco bowl I ate earlier?
You totally skipped over another thing that Harley did. And it is a Batman movie acknowledging a long-held theory, a long-held thought.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
When Harley goes, I thought you and Batman weren't into girls.
Oh, yeah, with the dynamic duo.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a gay joke in there too. What a classy movie. And Harley agrees to help them find Poison Ivy. They're driving around and Harley's like, you need to pull over. And Batman's like, no. So Harley starts farting uncontrollably. Dick is like, oh my god, Batman, pull over, open a window, do something. And Batman goes, no. It smells like justice.
Discipline was his word.
Or I apologize. Oh my god. What fart smells like that?
Everyone likes their own brand, man.
That wasn't his own brand. That was Harley.
Maybe he had...
Why do we have a 3-minute scene of Harley farting?
The cowl protected him for a period of time, and then even then he was succumbing to her foul stench.
And then to find Poison Ivy, Harley says we need to go to this karaoke bar where she sings karaoke.
And she sings a Blondie song.
Is that what it was?
I think so. By the way, the Don't Pull Your Love, the B-side to that, which was like the first song that those twins were singing, the B-side to that from Hamilton, Joe Frank and Reynolds was Funk and Wagnall.
But Harley sings her karaoke song, which actually something I did really enjoy is that like a drunken thug comes up to Batman and he starts doing the Bat 2C from the Batman 66 show, which is really funny that Batman punches him.
Yes.
But Harley is singing a song, and to put it politely, she graphically gyrates on top of a mic stand and
shakes her bosom
to and fro.
Oh, yes. Hardcore shaking.
Yeah, it wasn't like subtle. It was there. And then, because she does such a good job with her karaoke...
Hanging on the Telephone by Blondie. It was a Blondie song.
No, boy, it was butchered. They get to leave the bar to go find Poison Ivy.
Did you talk about the fight?
Which fight?
In the bar, they all fight. Like, they all, like, all these bad guys are like, you put us all in prison, the other bag you're leaving is one with a zipper on the front. And Batman finishes drinking the milk he ordered, and then says, let's dance.
Yeah, and then he just beats the crap out of everyone.
Yes.
And then Batman, Nightwing, and Harley all find Poison Ivy and the Floronic Man, who we haven't even mentioned, because he's not going to really be important until the last scene where you just have to raise an eyebrow.
Anyway.
Batman and Dick fight the Floronic Man, who wants to have plant life overtake the world. Nothing good happens there. Ivy and Harley fight, and the fight is immediately reduced into about 30 seconds of them punching each other in the boob and going, ow!
Yes, essentially.
Not essentially, that's what happens. They punch each other in the boob. I was like, what is this?
Not good.
And then, because Ivy and Harley are best friends / lovers, depending on what book you're reading, the fight ends because Harley cries and Ivy can't take it.
Yeah.
What a stupid ending.
Yes.
And then the Floronic Man just wants
Who's like
to continue
Discount
this.
Groot.
No, he's a real character.
But Discount Groot.
Yeah, but he wants to continue the entire plan of like destroying the world, and Harley's like, he's a plant, just set him on fire. So Batman just sets him on fire.
You totally forget the part where Swamp Thing like is there and could totally end everything. And like,
I skipped the Swamp Thing part.
The Swamp Thing's like,
to hell with this.
He's like, yes, this is bad. Figure it out on your own. No! Swamp Thing.
I am one with the green. Yeah, it's awful.
Yes.
What a bad movie.
It was terrible. It was 74 minutes of my life I will not get back.
This is Batman the Animated Series. This is Bruce Timm coming back for the first time since 2006. The main driving force behind this show.
And it was smut.
It was real, yeah, it was real smutty. I don't like that. I don't want that in my Batman.
You like smut, but not on your Batman.
I want it to be subtle smut.
This was straightforward, overt smut.
I don't like that. I don't like this movie. I don't like what it's about.
It puts it right in your face.
Oh, yeah, this just was no good. It tarnishes the legacy of a generation's version of Batman. My personal favorite Batman, and it farted at me for a long time.
Like after she had her gassy...
Yeah,
what did she say she had? It was
like
fighting
a
her
taco bowl or something.
Maybe something like that. I mean, I have a similar reaction to that food, but I don't like broadcast it. I'm kind of subtle. If I'm in a car with people and I got that problem, I just kind of crack the window a little bit, let the air take it out. I don't announce it, nor do I even like give force to it.
If you want to watch the animated series, go back, watch that series. Go watch the Justice League stuff that follows it up. Go watch the crossover with Superman. Watch Mask of the Phantasm. Watch that Mr. Freeze direct-to-DVD movie. I forget what it was called. I can't quite see it from here. Go watch The Mystery of Batwoman. Don't watch this. This isn't good.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't.
So I guess on our review system, mine is no.
I would say no with the provision, unless you're like morbidly curious or you have an hour to kill.
Moving on from there, let's go to letters to the editors.
Now for my favorite part of the show. What'd that say? Talk to the audience? Oh, God, this is always dead.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Compacting this letter, what would you meme from comics?
Well, Spider-Man's already been done, and done well.
Yeah, the Spider-Man TV show is amazing.
Spider-Man memes are fantastic. There was a good one I saw the other day, and I'm trying to remember what it was, word for word, but it was like, it had to do with the Defenders. And it's like, Defenders
of the Earth.
It was like an immoral army is trying to consume New York City. We need 4 superheroes. Call the Avengers.
Yeah. If I was gonna memes are a very specific kind of art.
You need a specific moment or panel.
Because you see stuff of Batman slapping Robin, and that's been done to death. I would want to go with something that's
a really good one. That's a classic meme.
But something that's totally ridiculous, like the time the Punisher was black, or the time Superman shot a porno.
But it's gotta be a picture you can consistently add this. It has to have a formula. I think a J. Jonah Jameson one of him laughing when Peter asks for a raise, that'd be a fun one.
I'm sure that's been done.
Fact-checking my memes.
I would just want to go with something totally off the wall. Get the weirder comic stuff. Or, I don't know, Superman shooting a porno is pretty far up there. That happened, by the way.
What?
He was being mind controlled by a new god called Sleaze, where he was shooting a porno with Big Barda.
There is a J. Jonah Jameson laughing meme. Yeah. I thought it was original. It's also a GIF.
I was going to say, the time that the Punisher was black, go with the time that Lois Lane was black. Go with weird Golden Age stuff that no one knows about. Or that time in the Hulk TV series where David Banner said I would not have said it on the show before, but with utmost earnesty when they were trying to be really sensitive and it wasn't, where it just goes, but Billy, he's retarded. And he says it with a level of earnesty that no other actor can possibly match with Bill Bixby. Where they were trying to be sensitive, but it's terribly stereotypical and hilarious.
I'm trying to think of what other good comic book, a comic book meme, a good meme.
I don't know, Guy Gardner getting a bowl cut, because that's what he has. Try and find a panel of that. Batman killing in the early days. There was one of the very first issues of Batman, there's a guy who's kind of a zombie-ish character, and Batman hangs him from the bat plane. He's better off this way, just showing him hanging from a broken neck. Something like that. What about
a meme, Happy Hogan or something?
Happy Hogan dying?
No, just where he's I'm thinking of
Oh no, I was talking comics versus the movie.
No, in the movie, and you get
Or if you did a meme of Happy Hogan, it'd be Vegas, baby! Vegas!
Yes.
Wrong movie, but he was in it.
No, I don't know. There's plenty of good... I don't know. If I was smart enough to come up with my own memes, I would come up with them and I'd be really funny.
You know what my favorite thing, or not my favorite thing, but something really funny to do, if you just go on Instagram and look up DC memes, one of my favorite things to read is overly long, complicated memes that aren't funny. It's like reading a short chapter of a book. And they're clearly being written unfunny teenagers, but they think they're being funny, and it's just long and overly complicated. They're so not funny, they become hilarious.
Oh, by the way, thank you for turning me onto those 2 Twitter feeds. Those have been gold.
What, Swear Trek and Riker Googling?
Yes.
They're so funny.
There's a good Swear Trek one yesterday on Tuesday, going back to work on Tuesday, and Data's hair is all disheveled, and he's like, fuck this.
Yeah, if you're looking for funny, I guess Swear Trek is the only meme-ish one, but that's more GIFs.
No,
but
the Spider-Man memes, though, I think are the best.
Spider-Man memes are hilarious. Google search that.
We need a good Riker meme.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen ones of how Riker sits in chairs because he doesn't do it normally.
No, he's always
over them,
straddles it. Yeah. I like the line must be drawn here.
The line must be drawn here.
You're not doing it right. The line must be drawn here and no further.
I don't know how you did it differently than me.
I was more subtle. You were loud, and it kind of had a sharp shrill at the end. It's very throaty. Then the line must be drawn here.
I mean, if you want to do something fun, just go follow
The Line Must Be Drawn
Here Instagram, just with him and his dog.
Oh man, I love him on Instagram.
I love him and his dog.
Oh, remember you ever go to this website? I'll have to show it to you if you haven't been to it after we get done with the show. It's You the Man Now Dog.
Definitely haven't been.
And they're audio GIFs, but there's some really funny ones. It's YTMND. But from
YTMND, what are
You the Man Now Dog.
Oh.
From when Sean Connery was in that movie and he had that line, "You're the man now, dog."
What movie?
I can't remember. It was about some kid playing chess. But there's a bunch of I want to call them GIFs, but they're not GIFs. But they're I can't explain it. I just have to show you.
You have bad words.
I do have good words. It's just, it's so awesomely indescribable.
All right, I'm going to wrap the show.
You the YTMNG. gd.com.
Look, what do I want for me? I want Bill Bixby as Bruce Banner / David Banner going, but Billy, he's retarded. That's what I want.
That's not how that works at all. So the store's at 210 Water Street in Hollowell. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of the internets, plus all of your favorite podcasting platforms, including iTunes and...
At editorsnotecomics.com on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you need to find anything, the show can be reached at editorsnotecomics@gmail.com. If you could rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. We're also on YouTube and other podcasting platforms. And you're on Twitter.
Oh, by the way, we're also on Patreon. Don't forget Patreon, where if you subscribe for $1 a month, you get this show a day early, and you get the other show that Zach is on with the co-host who cried during San Andreas, the Buffy back issue bin. You get that a whole week early. Just go over to editorsnote.com/Patreon. Is it Patreon/editorsnotecomics?
Yeah, that one.
Patreon/editorsnotecomics.
Which, side note, the episode that's currently on Patreon is one of my favorite shows I've ever done. We mentioned it a while back. It's finally out on Patreon. It's really funny.
There you go.
If you want to hear me talk about New England isms.
Yeah.
A lot of friggins.
Wicked, bub.
Oh, yeah. They're all out there.
Pakaka and Bahaba.
I don't go that deep, but pretty deep.
Wicked good. Do you talk about red hot dogs? That's a New England thing. I don't like red hot dogs. You don't like red hot dogs? No. I tolerate them. I mean, I'll eat them if they're presented to me. They're
I'm a man who likes to eat a 45-calorie hot dog.
That's not a real hot dog.
No, they are gross.
Yeah, no shit, they're gross. 45-calorie hot dog? No, thank you. Not in this temple, baby.
We'll be back next...
At Junior Rich, that's where I am, by the way.
You're on Twitter.
At Junior Rich.
We'll be back next week to see Thor and Hulk duke it out for the first time in live action.
I came up with my meme. Worf breaking Geordie's ukulele.
That's definitely been done, but I love it. I love where your mind's at.
I'm not a merry man.
That's a great
I protest.
It's such a good scene. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Live action Thor, live action Hulk, mano y mano, baby.
Yeah.